In January, Elementor had their Web Forward event, and there are two major things that I haven't covered yet that I am very excited about. And those are the CSS-oriented design system and the atomic components. But what are they? How do they work? And what are the benefits of them? Let's start off with exploring the CSS-oriented design system. Now, to show you how it works, I have a InstaWP account where I can easily spin up a website for testing this one. And it's also awesome if you have a staging website that you can create. With one-click staging sites, InstaWP is very helpful. They, by the way, have a very affordable $29 per year plan. So if you are interested in using InstaWP after this video, there's a link in the description down below. By the way, I'm not sponsored, I just really love this. So let's start off something from our template, and I will be using Bricks Builder as an example on how this works. We'll fire up our installation, and after a couple of seconds your website is ready. You press the magic login button and you just logged into your website. Very awesome if you want to create a lot of testing websites. Now this is a little bit outdated one, so I need to update it for now. And here we are in our websites. So let's explore how this works. We'll add a new page and edit it with Bricks. Now Bricks Builder is a Elementor alternative, but I can already show you how the classes will work. So that's something that I want to do now. I want to add in a section, and within the section add a heading and also a button. And there we go. We have our first section in here. Now, what you normally do, you style things in the style tab. And with Elementor, it looks a little bit different, but the basics are the same. Then you have your background and you can pick and choose your color. As you can see, it's now nice and purple. Now, if you want to add another section, for instance, on another page, here we have the section, and I also want a heading and a button in there. You see that this section now doesn't have the purple background. Now let's add another section just to have some spacing between. And now, as you can see, there are two different sections. And perhaps I want to change the background for the first one also to purple. Then later on, I'm thinking, well, the purple one, it doesn't look that well, and I have to change it on both places, right? I have to change it here to yellow and here to a yellow oranges color as well. Now imagine having to do this for every page that you have. It's a lot of time, and with WordPress you have to close every page and open it up, and it takes a little bit of time before everything is ready to go. Well, what classes helps out with this is that you can set a class. In Bricks Builder, we do that in the top here. We enter our name, for instance, our hero, and then you can create a global CSS class that can be used on every page throughout all your website. Here we can then hit create to create the hero class. And as you can see, when I select it, there's no background color enabled right now. When I deselect it, there's our background color. So let's remove the background color for this element and add it to our class that we just added. We pick the yellow color again, and then we go to the first section, remove also here the background color. But instead of needing to write down the class again, it's already here in the drop-down list. We pick it, and look at that, it has the same color. Now maybe you are like, well, I want it to be a different color. Then we can just pick a different color. And now they both are blue. And this is the power of CSS classes. They allow you to change everything in one place, and then it's done all throughout the website. It saves a lot of time. Just imagine how many times you have to copy and paste everything over for every page. I mean, I've been there just to test out a small kind of different color or a nice design element in your heading. And it takes a lot of time to get that up and running. Well, classes will help out saving you that time. And classes can not only be done on sections, it can also be done on buttons. So let's check that one out. For instance, here we have our button. We can change the background color to a different one. And maybe we want also the typography or the letters that are on the button to be a different color. We pick the color that we would like. I like this design, but I have to now copy and paste the button over to get the same design over here. So let's click the button and paste it here. And now I have to remove the old button and then rename the new button. That's how I did the buttons on every page. And then we needed to replace every button on every page if we wanted to have a different look and feel. You can also do it in the theme settings, but you have fewer options. If you, for example, want the button, instead of being square, to have a rounded border like this, as you can see, it changes on this page, but it didn't change on any other page. And now we have to go over on every page to change the border radius. Well, CSS, of course, will save that. We create a new CSS, call it button, hit enter, and as you can see, it doesn't have any styling. We also should remove every styling that's on here already. Click our button, then we'll add our border radius. Let's add 10 pixels again. Change the background color to the orangey one, and then change the typography color to white. Now we have the class, and now we can go back to our other button, remove all the stylings that we have had added there, click on the class system, and then here we have the button. And if we add it, there we go. We have changed the button, and we can change it on every page. I hope you understand how much time classes will save you in the future. You don't have to copy and paste on every page to do just one adjustment. And understanding this concept, it is kind of similar when using components, which is the next thing I'm very excited about. And Bricks also has a solution for that one. So I can show you how I expect Elementor it to add in, and also help you understand why it helps you. So here we have our sections again. I don't mind the design. It's not beautiful, but it's something to get started, right? And in here, we can go right click and then click Save as Component. Now, I don't think that Elementor would work in the same way, but at least this is how Bricks Builder has added it. And if we create a component, we need to give it a name. For instance, hero. We can add a category, and then we hit create. Now here's our hero section. As you can see, the color suddenly changes. Now here's the first advantage in using components. Now we have created components. If we go back to our normal structure and we copy the hero section, we duplicate it and move it down a little, and then we can remove this one. Now they both look the same, but what if we want to add a paragraph in there as well? We go to our hero section, we press add a component, and in here we can now add our basic text. Let's put it here, and as you can see, it updates the previous section as well. Because just like classes, components are reused throughout the website. So anything that you add will be added on every page where this component is used. Now, this also means that the text is changing. And that's something that we don't want. So to make it specific for each time the hero section is used, we press edit component again, we click our text, we add a property, a new one for our text. We call this the H1 text. And then we hit create. But as you can see, it's unconnected. So we need to connect it up. And we can do that by going to our heading that we already have, then go to the contents tab, and in there we can select a property. Now by default, I didn't add anything, so we can set up a default text. So let's go to edit and add a default value of hello world and hit save. And as you can see, both of them have the hello world option. And still, if I make changes, it doesn't reflect, right? So we need to go out of the component, then select our hero, and in here we see on the left side there's a property of H1 text. And if we change the text in there, you see it reflecting in the editor as well. But wait, it doesn't change on the other section where it's used. This makes it very easy to have the same design, have the same components in there, for instance the H1 and the paragraph and the button, but with different text. This makes managing your website very easy, and if you want to make changes on one place, you can also do it in the other places. Now you see what the advantage is of having the components and CSS-oriented design system in Elementor. You can design and create a component with the right styling in one place, and if you need to make changes afterwards, then you have one place there you can manage to do the changes. Now there's a few things that I'm very curious about how they will implement it. For instance, you can work not only with classes, but also different kind of selectors. You can select a attribute, but you can also select a first or a second child. And I'm very curious how they will solve that problem using this system. I'm also very curious on how fast they will implement new CSS properties. I could also see a way of having custom CSS for that specific class that would solve that issue. It also goes for the unit of measures. How fast will they integrate and update new CSS properties that will be added in 2025? Will it take a very long time, or won't it? Oh, I forgot one more thing. What I really liked about the web forward is this one. It shows you where you put a design on an element. And if you want to make changes, you know where to change something. And it's something that's really tedious if you have to do it on a website. And it looks very easy to use. So I'm very happy to see that coming. Now, with all this being said, I'm very excited for Q2. And I'm also very excited about the site planner. Site planner allows you to create wireframes and briefings with ease. And if you want to see more, then please look at that video right there. And if you like this video and want to see more and don't want to miss out on any web creation videos, then hit the subscribe button down below. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Keep designing.